everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we will be doing a craft with me together. We will be making a vintage style needle book. So this is a special video. It is a cross promotion with KS4U and Jenifer at A Trace of Sparkle. And I will leave all the links in my description box. You can go check out Julie, KS4U, her lovely laces and appliques and crafting supplies, her website. And I'll also link Jenifer at A Trace of Sparkle, her Etsy shop, and her YouTube. And I encourage you all to go check out Jenifer's stenciled papers. They're so pretty. I'm going to try and make a little notebook for this needle book that we are making today. So you could take little notes down that you need or anything, and you could, slip it into your needle book. But I hope everybody is doing well today. I was going to come on here on Wednesday or Thursday, but we were preparing for Hurricane Debbie, and I hope everybody stayed safe during that time. It's so scary. And by the time it reached us, it came right to us, but it came to us as a strong tropical storm. So, but it was still, the winds were terrible, and there was tornadoes just a few counties over from us. So I didn't want to turn on the camera and the power go out or anything. So I waited till today. So let's craft together right now. Let's get into this. So this needle book, I did coffee dye and tea dye all the laces but one applique. And here they are right here. So a bowl of yummies, and then also this one I coffee dyed, and it turned to this beautiful like light beige color. It is so pretty, and I have decided to put that on the inner pages. I was thinking this one we could put on the inner pages on the top of the fan, so we could do that together today as well if we have time. Or this one, I don't know which one to use yet. I'll make up my mind for that. And then so I coffee dyed all these, and then the felt I tea dyed, and then this one here is coffee dyed. It was already a beautiful color, but I wanted it to look more vintage. And then this one here took the coffee really well. Look at the chantilly lace and the eyelash on the edge. Look at that. Looks perfectly vintage for me. So we are going to get going on this. So I wanted to share the beautifully coffee dyed lovely laces with you. So and then here's the felt, and I did tea dye these and let them dry 24 hours, and I love the way it comes out. So this will be the front and inside cover, and then on the inside of the back cover and front cover, I'm going to sew this in. Look at that. Wouldn't that be just so beautiful? I'm so excited. So excited. So we, first step, I'm going to move these gorgeous digitals that I'll be using, and I printed them out onto silk cotton, and they're so buttery smooth, and it is just gorgeous. So, but we will place those on there in a little while. I'm not going to do those yet. Let's do the first step together. Okay, so let's do one felt at a time. So, so have your felt, and you don't even have to tea dye or coffee dye your felt. You could do this white. So all you need is a doily, and fold it in half, and it makes this beautiful outline of a fan, So, oh, I even coffee dyed these rolled rosettes here. Isn't it just so beautiful? The way they came out and took the color. So those are just fun. Okay, so this doily measures, let's measure so you can kind of get an idea. It's just a little over 12 inches. But you can do this any length you wish. And if you need a bigger piece of felt, you can go to Hobby Lobby and get batting. Batting would work really well in a Needlebook as well. So let me get my craft mat out. All right, so I am going to I was going to bring a pencil over here, but I think what I'm going to do is just pin this. Look at Rosie made this. Isn't this cute? I love this pin cushion, and it sits up beautifully all by itself too. It's so cute. Look. Okay, so I'm going to pin this in. So let's, and it doesn't have to be perfect either. This is just to outline the felt here. Don't stick myself. So I just want to hold this in place here to kind of, so I can cut around it. All right, so I'm going to use my nice fabric scissors here. So again, you do not have to come up straight up to the edge. I would go ahead and give yourself some extra room. You could always cut it off later if you wish, and it doesn't even have to be perfect. You know, because when you're using your laces and trims and things, that usually covers up your and then this one I'm gonna try and cut straight across here, because again, I'm not actually, and then I always save these for scraps. These come in handy when I make my cameos and things, so those are perfect. Okay, so let's go ahead and take out these pins, and then I'm going to work on the next step. We need to go ahead and cut the other one as well. Now you could use fabric tack, you can use your sewing machine, you can use all kinds of things to put this together. You do not have to use your sewing machine. You could use fabric tack. You can even use tacky glue. Okay, so with the second one, I'm going to match this up here. I'm going to pin this one down now, and that'll work out easier for me instead of using your doily. Now I have made a needle book with the doily, and what you do there is you do the same thing. You cut it, you cut your felt the shape of the doily, and then open up this doily and slide in a page here, one of the cut felts, right? And then put it over like this, and then you can either glue it down, hot glue it down, fabric tack, sew it, sewing machine hand sew, it doesn't matter. And then you would flip it over this way with your felt, and you could put your inner page right here using a piece of felt and 2 pieces of lace. But it would be so pretty with these digitals. So now I'm going to copy this one here. It's just endless ways you could do a needle book, really. You could do just the front and back, and then the 2 inside like I've done before. I will try and link that video if I remember to link that in the description box, where I did a vintage style needle book but using like vintage pink colors, and that was so pretty, just so pretty. So okay, here we go. So here we have our 2 pages. Now I'm going to be making handmade charms and dangles and things to put in there. Okay, so here we go. Here we got our start of our needle book. So here's the shape here. Okay, so just fold it in half, and then this one needs to be rounded off. So I'm going to take this one here I bet I can round it off without doing that. So I'm going to try this here. We got to get this square out of here. We need a vintage fan. I love vintage fans. Do you remember the vintage fan purse I made? I love that. Okay, so here's another square. We gotta do this one now. So let's round this off here. Just give it a prettier shape, right? So that's pretty close. It's pretty close. So here we have the start of our vintage fan needle book. So that is so pretty. Actually, okay, that's fine. All right, so now we need to take our digital. Now let's take our front cover of our digital, right? So I'm going to take a look at this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and fold it in half. You know, I could even just put the lace on the back instead of the digital. I could. Let's do this here. I got lots of traffic out today. It is the weekend, so let's take this off if I can. This is the first time I'm using silk, so it is so soft though. And I like to save these squares that I take the fabric off of, because you could use this to cut some thin cotton, maybe off of a bed sheet, an old bed sheet, and then you could put a glue stick a little bit in the corners and a little bit right here just to put it down a little bit, and then put it through your printer, right? So always hang on to those. It would be a good thing. And let's see here. Let me see. So you want to see if I can wrap this around and what it looks like. Yeah. Isn't that just pretty? Okay, so let's center this here, and then we're going to sew this in and then cut the extra fabric off. So I need to make sure, and you know, I kind of want to cut this a little bit. It's kind of squared there. Let's see. Thinking of a fan, right? So the edges, this edge is higher. So let's even bring it lower here. Looks better. Much better. All right, so I'm going to sew everything in. I would like to sew everything in. So I need to center this the best I can. So it's hard to see though. That looks pretty the way right there. That looks really pretty. I love her. She's so vintagey gorgeous. Okay. All right, so I positioned the picture where I want it, and I put my pins in just to hold it down, and then I'm going to get out my sewing machines. See? Oh, I can't wait till she is all finished. So pretty. All right, so let's go ahead and sew this. Okay, so I have it on a regular stitch. Stitch length is on 4. Okay, so here we go. And I also turned it upside down so I could see. So it's going to be hard to move these pins while I'm sewing, but that's okay. No problem. And then you can see where I put the line for the center. So I'm just going to flip up and come down here. We are almost finished. All right, so this is what we have. So pretty. It didn't cover this, but that's okay. I'm going to put lots of laces on here and trims and things. And this is what she looks like closed. So pretty. I love the silky fabric. Okay, so let's move on. So I am just going to cut the extra fabric off of here, and it will nicely, you know how the thread comes off like this as I'm working on her, and it'll give it the vintage look, right? So it's already stretching, but that's all right. I like that. It looks so pretty. All right, so here she is so far, and I'm thinking for the back page of doing something a little different. But I need to go ahead and sew the lace on the inside of these pages. So I'm thinking like that. Well, let's make it a little even there. Like that, something like that, so the ruffle comes down. It's okay about this. I'm gonna have lots of decorations. It doesn't even have to be the same. I like that look right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and sew this piece next before I do the next page. And then the back page, I was gonna put a digital on here, but I need to print out something else. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to use lace, because I would like to pin in on the back like this applique. And you know, so all I would really need is a piece of lace, so I might even use this lace, but we'll see. So let's go ahead and do this piece, and it looks like I could cut it right here. So I'm going to quickly cut this piece off just real quick. Just going clear across the open front and back cover, going on it. This is the inside. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so here is the sewn in lace into the page now. So this is what we have so far, and I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to cut off this ruffle part on the bottom of the lace, and I kind of don't even really want to cut off this top because it's going to have a ruffle to it anyway, so it'll support it, but I do need to cut off this end. So, but I would like to cut along the lace like that, so it's real pretty, and maybe cut off this leaf part right here. So, what do you think? Yeah, I probably should. But kind of, I'm going to keep the outline of this. This is really pretty coffee dyed. Can you see the color? It's like so pretty. Alright, so I cut off the extra laces, and I will put these in this because it would just look so pretty in it. So this is what we have so far. Let's straighten that back up. So this is what we have so far. I'm gonna try and look for a vintage lace that I have for the back page. I think it would look really pretty just with lace on the back instead of a digital. So here is the inside. So pretty. I think that is true. I mean, you could use this like this, right? But you got to remember what a fan looks like. We're going to put some ruffles on here. So I am going to, so you get the idea there for the first page. So I'm going to go ahead and sew that same lace onto the felt before I sew this time. So I'm going to do that first. All right, now I am sewing the second printed digital out on this, and this is the second page, and I have sewn in this lace again on the inside pages. So pretty, right? This is what we have. Now, I did not angle the digital straight. I like this look. That is very pretty to me. I like it like that. So that will be that page, and then you'll open it and it'll be this one and this one. And then on the back side of the page will be this. And it's so pretty, isn't it? I love it. It's turning out so pretty. So I like this at an angle. I think it is beautiful. So we are going to slip this inside of the page here. And now we're going to need to sew it, right? So I really would like to make my ruffles first before we do that, but I just want to show you what we have so far. And I like the laces hanging out. That makes it just give it its beautiful character. I might trim up some of these threads, not sure yet, but I think it is just gorgeous so far. And then the back page, real quick, I do believe I have enough of this lace to cover the back page. So let's go ahead and sew this on here real quick. Well, I will sew it on real quick. And I think I'm going to sew it this way where the ruffles are sticking out that way. See? Wouldn't that be just so gorgeous? So we're going to do that. I'm not worried about the felt hanging off. There is lots of trim I could be using in this. And then after I sew the back onto that, we're going to sew our ruffles on top of the pages real quick. And then we'll sew right in down the signature to hold the pages. But so far, it is just turning out lovely. I love it so much. And one thing I forgot to mention, so your book is going to be sitting like this, right? But when you do open it, the page is going to end up being straight anyway. So this is how you're going to open it. So it actually worked out beautifully. Isn't this lace just gorgeous? You have to go get some of that. And it just looks so scrumptious with Jenifers Digital. This is turning out so beautiful. So I hope this inspires you to make one yourself. So I'm going to quickly sew the lace on the back page. Okay, so I've sewn the lace on the back of the front cover. And now I've chosen this lace to make my random ruffles. And all you have to do is put your lace where you want to sew it, and then make sure there's a little bit hanging off for extra room. I like to leave myself extra room if there's any error, okay? So I'm just going to okay, what I'm going to do is tuck my ruffle under here. Now you could pre-make your ruffles, but I like to stretch mine to make them look like they're not perfect. So I take my foot off the pedal, and then let me see if I can get in here different angle. So then I like to take this end of the lace and this end and kind of bring it under the foot, and then see how it made a ruffle, and then stop again and do the same thing. And then you're just going to repeat that until you are happy with how it looks. And then I was even thinking, you know, do I want to sew this lace on the front or back cover? Or what I meant to say is, do I want to sew it on the front cover or on the inside of the front cover? And then you just want to keep going along here. Oops. And I like to sometimes do this where I pull it along and make sure it doesn't, let's see how it gets stuck right there. You have to be careful. I tell myself that all the time, be careful, be careful. So I hope you can see that in the view. I do that with my papers as well. When I do my papers, I do my random ruffles like this, where they don't look perfect, because I don't want that perfect look. I want just a pretty soft looking ruffle. And I wanted all of this to be sewn so it's nice and soft. Okay, so this is what we have. Look how pretty those ruffles came out. I love the look. It's nice and soft and just real pretty. I like it a lot. All right, so now the next step is, here's the back. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so for this here, let's go ahead and, you know what, let's not use my gigantic scissors here, and let's use, you want to look at your lace. So you want to keep the shape of the fan. So I'm going to turn it this way, and I'm going to cut it right like this and go with the lace. So I just cut that little piece off there, and that should be real pretty. I could tuck it in and finish sewing that right there. So I'm most likely going to do that, but I won't do that right now. See how pretty that came out? So I love that. I'm glad I decided to do it on the outside, so that looks pretty. All right, so this is coming together beautifully. I love it. Love it, love it so far. So I'm thinking for a ruffle for the inside cover. So remember, it's going to go like this. So again, I'm going to sew it on this side. It'll be easier for me to see. So I'm thinking, and see, I have quite a bit of this left, even after doing all those ruffles. Probably a little over a half a yard left, plus a little snippet. So I might use this one to border something. Haven't figured it out yet. But I was thinking about this gorgeous coffee dyed eyelet. Now this will be so pretty, putting ruffles in here as well. Let me figure out here. Okay, so again, I'm going to put random ruffles, and I'm going to start here, down here, and I'm going to put the ruffles here. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to pull it under the foot like this. So you want to go a little bit, stop, do this, hang on to both of them like that, and do random ruffles so it looks vintage and natural, right? So let me get out my sewing machine. And you see how the ruffle is going to hide that felt? And then there's going to be so many things that I am going to make in this Needlebook. It is kind of hard to start it, but once you get it going, it's easier. And then take your foot off the pedal. This is going to be a super pretty and super soft Needlebook. I love it. Trying to keep my hand out of the way here. Alright, so this is what we have here. And I do have to say, it was a little harder for me to sew in the ruffles, but that's okay. And I only have this much left of this eyelet left, but that is all right. Let's just cut the lace there. So I have this left. Now I could use this. Remember I printed out the digital the French labels. Well, that'd be real pretty, wouldn't it? So there it is. Now, look at that. Isn't that pretty? I love that look. That is so pretty. So I'm going to put the two signatures together now. And I am done with the lace ruffles. And now we're going to sew in the signature. So you want to place everything the way you like it here. I know you can see a little bit of that sewing there. That was really hard to sew that eyelet. It's not stretchy, so it was really hard. But that's all right. I will end up putting something here. So I would like to sew in the signature right here. So let's take a look how that would look. That would look really nice there. My arm is in the camera. All right, let's sew this and we will be finished with the Needlebook for today. All right, so this is what we have. Let me take these pins out real fast. And a little trick, or it's not a trick, you don't want to sew at the very top up here. You kind of want to give it some room. All right, so here it is. And yes, I have threads hanging everywhere, but that's all right. So here it is so far. Here's the start of the vintage style Needlebook. And it is so pretty. Let's take a look at the the pages here. This is so pretty to me. I love it. I hope you like it too, and I hope that you give this a try. So here it is much closer, so you can see it in detail. So this is the back cover. This is going to be a fan, so a vintage fan needle book. And down here, I'm going to decorate it with beautiful laces, of course. But I love this so far. How about you? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. I think this is coming along beautifully, and I hope that you were able to follow along. And before I leave here, I would like to make one more thing with you. So let's put Bella over here, and I would like to make, I have thread everywhere. I would like to make one more thing with you. So Jenifer has her stencils here, and I was thinking about sewing it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to put her stenciled papers. I'm going to make a little notebook. And I was thinking about using this too, so you could use this for a pocket and hold your notes and things. So we could make that together real quick. So you could put your little goodies in there. So let's make this real quick. So this paper is like perfect. It is so pretty. So I did bring some parchment paper out because I love parchment paper. And I think I'm going to put these papers in here. They're just so pretty. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's see, let's fold one. And so you get a needle book and a little book, right? So you just, oh gosh, that's like perfect size. So I have my tea dyed lined paper here, and I would just like to fold it and put it in with those papers. So maybe we'll put that in there, and that fits perfectly too, doesn't it? There we go. All right, that fits beautifully. So, and then I would like to add in some parchment paper for, you know, little splash of pink. These were all done from my papers that I have about finished. I can't wait to show you. That one's a little too small. I could fold it like that, and we can make a little pocket. See how there's a little pocket there, and then there'll be a little pocket on the back side. So we'll put that one there. And I will tie it up beautifully with some lace. So that will be your signature there. And then we'll fold some of these like this. And I think this one should, no, I think this one should be the middle signature. I love that look. And then this one should be like this. Okay. So let's put this together real quick. And then I'll tie it up with lace. And then you can have it with your needle book. Because, you know, you gotta take notes, right? Alright, so let's add these in here. Add another lined paper in here. And let's do that there. And let's get another parchment paper in here. And I am getting hungry, so I'm going to have to go. But I've enjoyed this needle book with you and putting these little papers together for you real quick. And this will be just beautiful. Okay, so then I'm going to tie this up here. And I might even add in some more tea-dyed papers. And then you could slide in maybe some spools of thread. You'll see. I'll probably make a corset spool of thread in there. And then it'll just go with the Needlebook, right? So I'm so thankful that you stopped by and did this Needlebook with me today. And I hope that this inspires you to get into your craft room and try and make one of these. And when I come back, I will have this all finished beautifully for you. So I'm super excited about that. And just give it a try. Get in your craft room and make a Needlebook. It'll be so fun. So I will see you soon in my next video, and have a lovely day. Bye.